What you love doesn't have to be what you make money doing. Responsibility is where wealth is. Buy, rent, repair, repeat.
Yeah.
Keep the car. I want the keys to a house. Because you're 16, 17, 18, you're going to beat the piss out of that car.
What's up, YouTube? We're here with Bryce Kaminsky, and I'm Patrick J. Hilario, your real estate investor and real estate coach. And today we'll be talking about why, as a 16-year-old, you should actually care about real estate and real estate investments. A lot of people are so scared to get that first deal, whereas, hey, once you go through the process of like looking at a property, running the numbers, going to get the mortgage, after a while it just becomes a checklist. But I remember the first deal, I had no idea what was going on, and I'm sure that's how most people are, right? Like, they're not taught this in school.
YouTube is the training channel, and not only YouTube, there's thousands of websites on learning this stuff offline. There's relatively inexpensive programs that you can get into to get people to start, helping you do that, helping you understand and breaking down the fear around controlling things, because there's nothing wrong with being responsible for a property. I know responsibility isn't like the most exciting thing to talk about when you're like 16, 17, 18. Responsibility is where wealth is. And the more things you're responsible for, the more wealthy you'll become. The more wealthy in life, the more wealthy in the actual finances. If you're the kid who saves up money for a first car, that's a bad investment. Figure out how to lease it, figure out how to, get a junker. Do not invest in a first car, invest in a first property. That's probably the easiest way to do it, because lots of kids go out and their parents buy them a 16, 17, 18-year-old, they buy them a car. You say, Dad, Mom, keep the car. I want the keys to a house. With the house, if you find a nice house and you buy it under value, you might even make enough money on the purchase to then go buy the car.
Yeah,
you can probably get the car out of the house, but you can't go the other way. As soon as you buy that car, as soon as you start driving that thing into the ground, like I know you will, because you're 16, 17, 18, you're going to beat the piss out of that car.
Might crash.
It's going to be worthless. And you can beat the piss out of a house and make it less worthless, but it'll always be worth something. So hold the car, Dad. Hold the car, Mom. I want keys to a house. How about that?
That's a good idea.
18-year-old moves into his first house. Even then, I'm sure if you're really excited about it, you can probably work something out with your parents to get on title. They're probably mortgageable. They could probably co-sign on that first loan. Get into your first property. A lot of us get into our first property with favors and loans and second signers and all sorts of things. So don't worry about how. You can figure that part out. You have to look at it and say, this is why I want to do this. How much equity do you have in all of your properties? How much did it cost you to buy all of them?
So,
what's the gross value on paper of your portfolio right now?
Right now it's at just under 4 mil.
And how much money did you have to put down on 4 mil?
To put about, like, when I was buying it was around 25%. Later it changed to 20%. And then I raised like most of that money. It was only my first deal where I basically spent 4 years saving up. That was to get that like 13
The first
grand.
one,
yeah,
right?
The first one. And then after that I was like, there's probably a better way. And I just kept borrowing money from people and paying
So you
it back.
raised $800,000, did the deal, and how much of that $800,000 is still owed to people?
Right now, because I have a couple deals on the go, I owe 120 right now.
Buy, rent, repair, repeat.
Yeah.
Forever.
Infinite R's.
But then you get all the money out and you own these things relatively free and clear. You have joint venture partners on those mortgages, or is it all corporate mortgages
all
now?
All is owned by myself. I have a couple on
partners.
Couple on corp, and then one that I have a joint venture on right now.
There you go. So it might seem like $4 million for property is a lot of property. It's not. It adds up pretty quick. $100,000, $200,000 at a time.
Yeah.
You got 30 houses, but he doesn't owe $4 million.
Yeah.
He has the buying power on paper of $4 million. He can leverage that. He can probably leverage what he has to buy more property. And at a certain point, you don't need any more partners. You've got enough of a portfolio going that it's going to self-perpetuate. So if you stop now, those properties will double, triple over your lifetime. So you'll have 4 million. They'll keep being paid down in 30 years because you're 28. So you'll be like 58.
Yeah.
At 58, those properties will be worth something in the range of 15 or 20 million dollars, and they're not going to get more expensive than 4 million. So all of that, let's say it's 20, and let's say they didn't pay down at all. In 30 years, you're going to have something like $15 million of equity to refinance and sell out.
Yeah.
Should you decide to sell it out. Sounds pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Or you could work for $60,000 a year for 30 years. Let's do the math on that.
Oh, I don't even think
$65,000 a year for 30 years. You'll make 1.9 million, and you'll pay taxes on all of that.
Assuming
Patrick's not going to work from here. He could just stop. He's not going to work for the next 30 years. The stuff he's already bought is going to work for him for the next 30 years. And when he's done doing whatever he wants for the next 30 years, they're going to give him $15 million tax-free in a refinance. So it's a secret, like, don't blame the schools, but yeah, blame the schools because they're not telling us. They didn't tell me. I don't think they told you.
They didn't tell me. I try to teach my students on like financial literacy Fridays, but I think I was probably the only teacher doing that.
Right. So like, if they taught all the future employees about real estate, then there wouldn't be any future employees. And people are getting wise to it. The internet like this is telling people what's up. It used to be that we were closed off in school and we were, sent down a line to get a particular degree, and that was the answer. Go get a degree. Yeah. What do you love? Go specialize in that. But what you love doesn't have to be what you make money doing. Mm-hmm. There's an intersection between what you love and what people will pay you to do. And I don't think all the millionaires love the S&P index and things like that, but follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If you're 16, go and set up a LinkedIn profile. Yeah. I know you don't know what that is, but LinkedIn, that's for like business people. That's where all the old people are. That's where the money is. If you want to get money for your first investment, go on LinkedIn. There's no money left on TikTok. Everyone on TikTok is just the same age as you. They're all clueless, wandering the earth as well. So, upgrade your social media, upgrade the money in your life, buy a property, sit on it for the rest of your life. Buy 100 properties, buy one every year for 50 years. You're only 16, 17, 18. If you really want it, you can get it. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
If you want a house hack, find those buddies that complain about living at home and then just charge them cheap rent. That's what I did.
There you go. Okay, let's go on to our next meetings. Bam.
That was great.
There it is.